Hello YouTube, and especially all you knife people out there. Wanted to talk a little bit more about the Enzo Camper sheath, and I did mention in several videos the problems I've been having with the stitching coming undone on the attached loop part of the sheath. But you also know I actually kind of like the sheath design, and if you just watched the video I also posted on my preference for a dangler style sheath, especially as a hammock camper, you'll know a little bit more about why that's the case. But I did like the sheath design because it gave you a 2-for-1 basically. You could wear this as a standard sheath style with your belt loop through this part and let it sit kind of high on the hip, or you could use the dangler modification and let it hang lower. So I really did like that, although I was always using it with the dangler part of the case, the sheath, but it just started coming unstitching, and it's not going to last a whole lot longer. So I was looking for an alternative. Now, KH009, I believe, is the YouTube handle. They did tell me after buying their Enzos recently that the stitching's been very good and they haven't had any problems with it. So maybe mine was a one-time wonder. But if you are having stitching issues with your camper, if you're a camper owner, or you're just looking for an alternative sheath, well, I may have found just the thing. And that's actually the S1 sheath that's in leather that Fallkniven provides. Now, I ordered my S1 with the Zytel sheath and obviously the fabric style loop, and this one actually works pretty well because the loop just has more give. Not a true extended dangler, but it does do fairly well. But anyway, they do have the option when you order your knives to get them with the Zytel or with the leather. So I got mine with the Zytel. Well, I started looking at the comparisons between the two knives. Let me just get rid of this here. Between the S1 and the Enzo. And given that the dimensions with the blade, the handle, and the thickness are so similar, I thought that there was probably a pretty good odds that the S1's leather sheath would work well for the Enzo. And so I went ahead and ordered one. And here it is. Let me get rid of the S1 there. Okay, so the S1 leather sheath, the main difference obviously is that there's no loop on the back, so it only works as a dangle mod. But the design, as you can see, is very, very similar to the one from the Camper. The Camper is a little bit higher leather. The leather goes a little, let me put this up here so I don't get cut. The leather goes higher toward the top end of the sheath than the on the Camper than on the S1 version. But when I move this over, as you can see, it actually fits pretty good. Sorry about that. Sorry, it fits pretty good. And so I actually prefer the build style of this one much better. Now it is black versus the dark brown, but that's just kind of an aesthetics thing. The build quality is better, in my opinion, all around. There's just, you know, like again, no sheath part back here, but I prefer the dangler anyway, so this isn't going to be a problem for me. So this is a very good alternative or replacement for your Enzo Camper sheath if you have problems with it or just decide you want something new, especially if you prefer the dangler style. The one thing you do need to note, and this is kind of obvious to anyone looking at this, that neither of these leather sheaths happen to have a fire steel loop like is common on Bark Rivers and Blind Horse and other vendors. Not really a big deal. You can always add one later if you want to, but something to keep in mind. So if you are looking for a leather sheath alternative to what came with your camper, I highly recommend the Fallkniven S1 sheath. It only runs about $5 more than the Camper one anyway, and in my opinion, again, this is based on experience, hello, got issues here, the S1 is a better option. I also thought something was kind of funny about this. Let me grab this knife back out here. I actually think the Enzo fits the sheath better. The S1, especially because it's got this kind of prominent finger guard, that's as low as I can get it to go in the sheath. I mean, I'm putting a lot of pressure on it, so it sits kind of high, and actually does, put it by the mic here, I don't know if you can hear the rattling noise, but it actually, you know, it's got a quicker withdrawal because there's less tension on it, but the Enzo actually fits better in the Fallkniven sheath. And I'll go ahead and show you. Now, when I first got it, it stopped here, and then there's kind of like a little catch in this area right here. And, you know, once you kind of push past that and let it start to break in down, I guess, from the metal finger guard, it actually fits really well and really snugly. And I'm shaking it right by the microphone up here by my neck. And the creaking you're hearing is just from this part moving around. There's no actual blade rattle. So it's very, very secure. And on the hip belt, I want to undress here on YouTube, but move this around real quick because I don't want this video to be too long. Go ahead and get some. But anyway, you can see about how high it hangs, pretty low. Kind of similar to where the Bushcrafter A style sheath hangs with the handy Scandi ad. And then one hand pull, not a problem. The loop did spin around, but as you can see, you can do it one-handed. You can use two-handed withdrawal, obviously. But one-handed, not an issue. The only thing I found with this one is the loop likes to get twisted and kind of stay up like that, but you know, nothing that's detrimental to you. So anyway, Enzo lovers, camper owners, if you're looking for a good alternative for the camper, again, the S1 sheath fits the bill in my book. $25, $26 from DLT Trading. You can also get it from Knife Works and some other vendors, I'm pretty sure. Got mine from DLT, Jason and the gang, always great customer service, very quick shipping. Anyway, I hope that helps you guys out if you are looking for a replacement or again, just curing some board. Until next time, guys, be safe and God bless.